All right. Nah, I don't like that. All right, lads, boys and girls. Okay, all of you guys. Apologies because I believe this is the third time we've doing a live stream because of the situation we had with the network. So the connectivity, we've had massive issues with the connectivity, the location, the area, specific area. I mean, this is part of Northwest London, North London actually, North London. So yeah, it's not Northwest, but it's North London. Just having some connectivity issues. I hope the video quality is better now. I hope the audio is better now as well. Also, I've done a little test video call with someone else, with Faisal, just to kind of check basically if the audio works out. So this is the third time. We hope third time's a charm. Let's see, right? I want to talk a lot about the market and all sorts of other stuff as well. So okay, let's get into this, right? Of course, today we should all celebrate, right? There's a few reasons we should celebrate. Number one, we've hit a brand new all-time high of $109,833. That's a fact, right? We've hit a brand new all-time high. Another fact, tomorrow is Bitcoin Pizza Day. So everybody that knows about Bitcoin, the first ever transaction, Bitcoin Pizza Day is tomorrow. So everybody tomorrow for dinner, lunch, whatever you're having, it's pizza day, right? BTC pizza day. Remember that, right? So we're back that time. Yes, my brother, salam. So, so that's what's happening now. We went to 109 on the daily, on the short time frame. Things look hot, right? So I'm kind of repeating myself. To those of you who have been on the previous stream, please bear with me. I'm just trying to get everybody up to speed. So yeah, we went and hit that number, but of course on the shorter time frames we did have signals telling us how overbought we are. We're stretched out, we've run out of steam, things look hot. So I was giving a little bit of warning to all the guys on Discord and everything. I kind of kept everybody updated and tried to keep everyone grounded. So just kind of expect, look guys, we're overbought on a short time frame, expect the worst case. However, on the longer time frame we do have much more stronger signal. We have time, which is something I talk about. Having a signal is one thing, but if a signal doesn't last that long, what's the point, right? So we do know that the overall strength that we've had in the BTC, in the stochastic RSI, the RSI, MACD, whatever you want to call it, right? The ones that we use for probability testing, right? It's telling us that, look, we have time. We've got plenty of time. We've got enough room to move up. Now, as soon as we hit that 109.8, I'm observing. I'm like, okay, let's have some notifications and whatnot, right? So I'm excited. Everyone's happy. So I congratulated everyone, right? And then, right, it dumped. And that's where I was the most excited. I wasn't excited about the 109, almost 110K. Let's just say 110K for the simplicity, right? I wasn't excited about any of that. I was more excited about where we dropped to. It actually dropped to 106. Now, 106 is a very significant number, right? I've talked about it before as well. It's a significant number because what happened was previously, when we did the all-time high at the 109,000, whatever it was, right? We dumped. We never closed the candle at the 109,000, right? And the candle that closed, and we couldn't hold anyway, was around the 106. You see what I mean? So 106 is very important. So now we've come back to that, but this time we've actually held support at that number and potentially we can move forward, right? It gives us so much room, and it actually, all the liquidations and everything that's happened is kind of resetting all of that momentum, resetting all of that overbought situation, the malarkey that we had. Now we have enough steam to move forward. Ryan said, stop yapping. Ryan, it's okay, my brother. You don't want to be here. Adios, my amigos. uh, Okay, Ryan, you're just gonna get banned. You do know moderators are here. Anyway, that's fine. You carry on doing what you're doing, right? Prasad says hi, hi. Yeshwardhan Singh says, "Are you Indian, bro?" I am from the Indian subcontinent. Whether I'm Indian or not, it doesn't matter. I'm here talking in English with all my English people, all the international communities from all over the world, basically. So we have brothers from Pakistan, brothers from India, brothers from Punjab, wherever. It doesn't matter where it is. Like from Dubai, we've got people from all over the world. It's an international channel. Let's see what happens. So it is what it is, right? Anyway, so going back into the market, right? So this is important, right? So we've come back to 106K. That's very important for us because now it gives us a better opportunity to move from here. And also another thing to notice, and these are things you have to notice, right? These are very important things. If we did the all-time high at the end of the week, like Friday, right? Market closed Friday, the traditional markets closed Friday, I would be worried. However, this being a Wednesday, I'm super, super excited because that means we have a few more days to do whatever we want. Anything we can imagine, we can do, right? So that means we have an opportunity to go towards the 133K to 137K, which is a previous number that I've given. And I don't change my numbers. I don't randomly come out with brand new, fresh numbers. My numbers are stick by them, right? So that's a number I'm giving. Now, of course, when we get to that level, then we can see something else. Now, there are a few other good things in the market as well. Number one, altcoins have not moved. So the recent dump that we had, right, when we started dumping down, from that point, a lot of altcoins haven't recovered, right? They haven't recovered back to the previous levels that they were. So something that was like, say, $1, it hasn't gone back to $1, right? Something that pumped to $5, $6 hasn't gone back to that level. You know, like for example, XRP, it had a new all-time high, but it hasn't gone back to that level. But BTC is leading the market, which is great, right? And of course, Ethereum is seeing good momentum as well. Every day, stacking a few percentage here and there. Link is doing really good as well. Every day, pumping a few percent here and there. But all of that equates to one thing, that the market is now getting ready. It's just fueling up, right? The tanks are being filled up, right? So once the tanks get filled up, we know we're going to get to a situation where we are going to go parabola. Because the parabola is going to be the last thing. And I think I mentioned something on Discord. I said, look, when the altcoins start shooting, it's the end, right? What I mean by that is, look, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money on BTC, right? I'm personally not holding any BTC at this present moment. Like I was going to say physical, but BTC is not physical, so I can't really say that. But I'm not really holding any BTC. However, I am trading BTC, right, with my USDT, USDC that I have. So I am actually actively trading BTC, and we're doing really good. There are people out there who are trading with BTC to make more BTC, and I'm just basically trading with the dollars to make more dollars, but it doesn't make a difference because I can convert it back into BTC. It's a decision I've made that I don't want to hold any BTC right now, right? But I am trading it and we're making money. There's recently, it was on the news or the Twitters or something, or x.com, right? Someone actually showed something. I think it was Zach BTC. I'm not sure if it was Zach BTC or Ash Crypto from Wall Street Bets. But someone opened a $240 million long 40x. And check this out. When he opened the 40x, we were sitting at $103 or $4,000. He hasn't been liquidated. He hasn't been. So this guy's made a shit ton of money. Even if he closes his trade now, he's made a shit ton of money. That's 40 times whatever he trade. So, you know, it's a crazy amount of money, right? So people are going to make a lot of money. Of course, you got to be strategical. You got to know your limits and say, right, this is where I want to stop out. Hence why I'm trading with stop loss and everything. So that's what I'm personally doing right now. But at the same time, I know that alts are going to be opportunities, right? Because alts, as I said, they haven't recovered. So now may be a good time to look at some of the alts, obviously with the stop loss, right? Or some sort of a protection, right? So, you know, these are fresh investments, right? Anything you've had, fresh investment. That's how I look at it. So I'm like, okay, now I have an opportunity. I've made a shit ton of money. What am I going to do with that money? So if I had BTC and I made more BTC, then this is how I would think about it. Of course, I had BTC, but the point I'm trying to make here, I'm not trading with BTC. I'm trading with US dollars. So what I'm saying is when you make all of that profit, well, where does that go? So in my case, I'm considering buying some alts that haven't moved, all right, including XRP and whatnot. I'm not going to mention a whole bunch of names, but just kind of throwing a few out there, right? And of course, none of this is financial advice. You guys do whatever you want to do. But the point I'm making here is I've made a significant amount of money on BTC. All right, I've had a 10x trade, and I've mentioned my 10x trade months ago. What I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, where it's going to open. I've mentioned all of those. That's already happened. Right, and that's still open. I haven't really closed it. There's another one I closed. That was an auto close, so I closed that automatically. I did another one, right? I'm doing okay, so I've done 3. I'm kind of overstretched a little bit, so I'm now trying to calm down. Like, okay, look, I've done it. I've got to take my money out. So I'm starting to take my initial investments out, including some profits as well, off the table. I just want to take as much off the table. But what am I going to do with it? Right, I'm a crypto guy, right? This is a bull run, right? If it's a bull run in a end of the bull market, this is a bull run. I need to make money. So what I'm going to do, and just this scenario I'm explaining to you, I'm going to take that and deploy that into the alts. Some of the alts that I'm looking at, I think there's got good potential, right? We'll look into that. And then once those alts come back and make me a shit ton of money, then I might consider either sitting back, waiting for the market to come to me, to my price, right? While I enjoy the benefits. You see what I mean? So I'm just going to play it in a complete different way. And I hope a lot of people understand what I'm trying to say. So we have, as I said, a few things. The alts haven't moved, people could turn around and say, yeah, they have moved. No, they haven't moved, right? Not from where they were. They haven't gone back to where they were. So that's an opportunity. Whatever difference you see, if it's 10% below where it was, if it's 20% below where it was, if it's 50%, and there are coins that are 80% below where it was, that's an 80% difference that you're going to make. Forget the 10x, 20x. Don't worry about those. They're going to come, right? If you have patience, they are going to come. But the point is I know I can make a quick 80% on something. So I know nothing else is going to give me that. I'd rather do that. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm kind of thinking. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it. I'm making a lot of money on BTC right now, on Ethereum as well. What am I going to do? Well, I need to deploy that profit, kind of redistribute it into other stuff, right? But as I said, all with stop loss, because right now you don't want to go into the risk on like, okay, I'm going to go blind. I'm going to do, no, don't do none of that business, right? So that's something I wanted to explain to you guys. Also, another thing recently has come to my attention massively, right? So there's been a couple of data breach, right? Some stupid companies like, data breach. So through those data breaches, emails and this and that have been exposed. I've even had a situation where years ago, right? Like I'm talking about the last time I received a message from Binance for a verification, their short code number was from that number, from Binance official. They actually sent me a verification. So in 2019. However, recently the same number is trying to spam me. So I'm not sure if Binance has changed the number or the number's been sold. I'm not sure, but somehow they have my data. So I've taken precautions because I've noticed Binance is sending me messages. Coin is sending me messages, and I don't really get messages from Coinbase, but I do get emails from Coinbase. So data breach, no problem. So I've taken another extra step. I said, right, I'm going to go and change each of these emails. So what I've done is I've changed all the emails. So each one has a different email now. It's not even the same one. That's one. The other thing I've done is I've changed my phone number. So now these spammers or scammers or whatever you call them, obviously they know that they've seen whatever they've seen on my data breach that I've had. And actually, I do know it's a data breach because I kind of follow my credit score and I pay a company in UK to monitor any kind of fraudulent activities or anything like this. And they've mentioned that apparently my email has been flagged 27 times on the dark web. So I'm being sold on the dark web. So of course, dark web is full of smart people, so they know how to view these kind of things. So that's what they're doing that right now. So all I'm going to say to everybody, guys, be careful. You will get notifications, you get text messages, you get emails, all sorts of stuff if there is a data breach. But the only way you can save yourself and avoid all of this situation is if you know what kind of security you have. For example, I know it's not my phone number. That's not the one with the exchange. So if that's not my phone number on the exchange, then how could the exchange send me a message? Obviously, right? So I'm like, that's a BS, right? Email. If I'm receiving an email on the email address that's been breached and I've changed it already, well, that's not an official email. You see what I mean? So those are the protections, those are the precautions I would suggest for everyone to take. And of course, if you see a random weird link or anything, don't do it. So for me, I've spent some time now kind of taking screenshots and capturing those details and actually sending it off to the exchanges in question, right? So if it's a Binance, I've sent it to Binance. Here, your fraud department, deal with that, right? If it's Coinbase, here, this is what I'm getting. So let them deal with it. They got the money and the resources. That's all I'm going to say. So Faisal says, bro, this is why I definitely want to get another phone, email, etc, specifically for crypto wallets, exchanges, etc. Keep it as offline as possible. Yes, if what I would recommend from my experiences and the bad experiences that I've had, hence why I'm a little bit more paranoid and cautious now, right? There's no right way of having one email. My advice would be, it doesn't matter. It could be Gmail, right? It doesn't matter, right? Gmail is secure, right? Hotmail is fairly secure as well. All I'm saying is what you do. The trick is, right? If you've got a email connected to Binance, don't use that email on KuCoin. Don't use that email on Coinbase. That's all I'm saying. Use an entirely different email there. And Google allows you to have up to 10, right? Without any issues. You can have 100, 1,000 if you want, right? But I think on device specific, they don't allow more than 10 on a particular device. I've got plenty of Google because I've got like business accounts and whatnot, right? So with Google, I've got like, I don't know, I think like 20, 25. But I can only access about 10, I believe, or 12 on this device. So what I'm saying is because you know that this email is connected to that email is connected to that, well, all of a sudden, if you're now receiving emails to your personal email or whatever's been exposed, well, you're not worried anymore. Now, to avoid you getting exposed is just don't use them to sign up anywhere else. That's the key here, right? If you've got a Coinbase, a specific one, there are tricks, right? To if you want to make xyz@gmail.com, you can actually have one xyz@gmail.com specifically for Coinbase. That is Coinbase. So you know in your head, my email is xyz, right? But the one that has the Coinbase at the end is for the Coinbase. So you remember, so that way you don't forget, right? So you only have to remember one thing and then just add the Coinbase or the Binance at the end. That's it, right? So by all means, you know what I mean? That's one way of keeping things simple and easy. There are plenty of guides out there and videos out there how you can put a dot at the end. So if you say my name is XYZ, before you do the thing, you can do dot XYZ dot this at, and by adding a dot, you immediately create another one. So there's videos out there. You can do that as well. But I've obviously got individual accounts, and that's the best way I'm doing it. But one thing I have done is, since they started the pass keys and whatnot, and a lot of these other verifications, I decided to get myself another contract. So I have another contract through my network. It's very cheap. It basically like the most basic contract, so that way I don't have to worry about pay as you go, none of that nonsense, because you know, pay as you go, if you leave it, it just dies off after 3 months or something. You can't use it anymore. So to avoid all of those, I just got myself another contract, right? The most basic contract you can get, and basically I'm just using that. Funny thing is, I actually got it into it's not even on a phone, it's on a tablet, but that's just there for verifications and this and that if I need that. Does that make sense? That's all I'm doing. This phone, anything I have here is disconnected from all of those. So when I'm receiving messages on this phone from Binance, I'm like, seriously? Dude, Binance doesn't know this device. This device doesn't exist on Binance. So why would you send me that? So obviously tactics, right? Phishing tactics, or whatever they call it. Phishing, right? They're trying to fish me. But no, look, I've been fished. I've been mugged. I've been freaking hacked. So end of the day, you learn, you know what I mean? You learn the hard way. So I've learned the hard way, and now I'm just extra paranoid. You know, I should have been paranoid like this probably in the past, but I haven't. I've been stupid and I made mistakes, and now I think, you know what, it's time for me to pass it on and tell people, guys, be careful, because, you know, bad things could happen to good people, you know. And sometimes what happens is we are so confident, and we become ignorant. Right, we're so confident. Oh yeah, it's all protected because I did everything. I know exactly what needs to be done. I've followed this guy. I've done this. I've done industry leading, all of the experts. Right, I've did everything I had to do to protect my funds. But at somewhere along the line, you make one mistake. In my case, I made one mistake, and I paid for it dearly. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody else to do that. So that's all I'm going to say right now. But take those steps. Protect yourselves. Protect your funds. Also, if you have like a decentralized wallet, never ever sign into that wallet directly from an exchange or one of those web3 wallets or anything, because what I've noticed is some of those exchanges, even though they say it's decentralized, it's not. Give you a good example. Coinbase. On Coinbase, they have a dex wallet, right? Coinbase wallet, or whatever they call it. Coinbase knows that I already have a Coinbase account. So when I've tried to go and access, like create a new wallet, it wanted me to connect to the Coinbase wallet. So I always said, no, decline. I'm a fresh guy, new guy. They knew, right? So if that's the case, then is that really a decentralized wallet? No. You know, yeah, you can buy some meme coins and whatnot, but is it decentralized? I don't think so. So that was Coinbase experience. Similar experience I've had with OKX. I had a similar experience with OKX, and in fact, OKX, I don't trust them. So all I'm saying is, guys, if there are exchanges out there, including Binance, right? If there are exchanges out there providing Web3 wallets, be cautious. Just be cautious. You know, for me, let's put it this way: the experience I had with Coinbase and the experience I had with OKX was enough for me to say, well, you know what? If these low levels are doing it, well, I don't see why Binance wouldn't do it. And Binance offers the same service. KuCoin offers the same service, and I was like, no, I'm not interested anymore. Thank you very much. Right? So that's what I've did. And as you know, for me, one of my biggest situations that happened to me where I've lost a whole shit ton of money, shit ton of crypto, basically. that same wallet was also connected to Trust. Well, I'm not saying anything, but Trust is owned by Binance. So, I'm not saying I don't trust them. I still use them. I still have crypto in there. I'm still trading with them. But I'm just a little bit more cautious now and like who I'm going to do what with and where I'm going to put stuff. You know what I mean? So anything that I don't want to get rid of, I don't want to sell, I don't want to trade, that's completely offline now. And believe me, it's completely offline. And it hasn't touched anything else. So I'm not sharing that detail with anybody else. Anything that I'm okay with, like for example, I do a whole bunch of Solana meme coins. I still enjoy meme coins. But those ones, what I do, I don't care how many wallets there are, how many exchanges there are. That's like liquid capital. So anything liquid, I'm okay if it gets hacked or anything. But everything else, I'm just being extra cautious, extra paranoid. That's all I want to say. So other than that, we're currently sitting at $108,000, which is absolutely fantastic. And in fact, if we close a candle, even today, right? So I'm hoping a weekly candle is closed around 109K or anything above 106,000 actually. But if we do close a candle today at 108,000, my God, watch the hype. By Friday, watch what happens. 120, 130, it's going to be a blink. We're going to move very fast, guys. We're going to move very fast. So this is going to be really, really insane, right? And what you notice a lot of the time, the parabola happens because of FOMO, fear of missing out. And that means basically a lot of people, when they see the price moving, now inside their head, inside their mind, they're assuming it's just going to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And they start to risk a lot more, right? So that's going to create the parabola for us, which is going to start moving the market. So right now, all I can say, of course, this is not a financial advice. You do whatever you want to do. I'm not a financial advisor. But as I said, for me, it's an opportunity because I've already started taking some of my initials off the table because I've made a decent amount, and also taken some profits. So I've made enough to take my initial and some profits off the table as well. So now that I've done that, I'm going to start deploying into some of the altcoins that haven't moved yet. So I'm not looking at the ones that have moved. I'm going to start looking at some of the coins that haven't moved yet. In fact, one of those opportunities that I looked recently, I didn't have Ethereum on the trade. I went into Ethereum as well. You see what I mean? Because I said, okay, it hasn't really gone where it needs to. It's a good opportunity. Let's move with this, right? Faisal says, is your trade still open? So I have 3 trades open currently. The one I mentioned at the 98,000, that one I got, so I stopped out at the 100, I think it was 102,000 or something. I stopped out because I wasn't quite sure. So that one auto stopped out. So I had my stop loss trailing stop right at very tight, so I kept it very tight. I was like, let me see what the market does, because I'd rather be confident moving forward and I could easily open a trade at a higher level rather than losing money. You see what I mean? So from 98k to 102k, I made decent money, so I was happy with that, right? That 10x paid nice. So I moved out with that, and then I said, right, I'll wait and see if the market goes back. So when it went back to 103, I think it was 103.4 or 103.5, when it went to that level, I jumped in again, right? And I said, right, let's go on. And then the next one opened up again. I just carried on. So I've got 3 trades open right now. Ethereum, as I said, I've got 1 on Ethereum. I've got 2 on BTC moving forward. I'm even considering opening a 3rd one for BTC. So this would be my 4th trade, right? However, again, anything I'm doing with complete risk management. I don't want to lose. My goal is to not lose a penny. My goal is to make sure I lock in those profits. Worst case scenario, if I do lose something, I'm happy to lose 2-3%, but that would actually be just profit money. So what I've done is I've made enough to take my initial, take some profit out, and now I'm just playing with the profit, so I can literally gamble as much as I want. It doesn't hurt me, right? But of course, in the best case scenario, I want to make more money. I don't want to really lose anything, right? So even though I'm playing with profit money, I don't want to lose that. I want to keep that as well, right? My goal is to keep all the profits. So I'm moving forward, and that's the reason why I'm now starting to consider buying some of the coins that haven't moved yet, right? And those are the coins I'm going to be looking at, and I'm like, okay, that's a good time, because I'm just putting profit money in there. Again, it's risk management. By doing that, it's risk. I'm not putting my own money. You see what I mean? So all I had to do is do one trade, right? I did one trade, which moved me to where I need to be. It paid me enough to take my initial out, take some profit out, redeploy that, make even more money, take some profit out, redeploy that, make more money, right? And then now I'm going to be redeploying that into other altcoins that haven't moved, right? That usually follow along, right? They kind of stagger along, right? But what they do is, as soon as BTC kind of stops, because everyone's going to take their profit out, they're going to dump it into these altcoins. That's when they start shooting, and that's what the opportunity I want to take. So I don't care if they're not green now. If they're red, I'm actually happy for them to be red now, right? So, but they're not. They've moved like 10, 15, 20%. Some of them have done already 20, 30%, but they're nowhere near their all-time high or the recent highs. Actually, a lot of these coins haven't recovered from 2021, 2022. Do you know what I mean? That dump, they haven't recovered. So it's been many years. They just have not gone back to their previous all-time high. So I'm seeing this as an opportunity because any one of them could start pumping, right? But one thing I will advise to everybody, and of course, it's not a financial advice. One thing I am going to advise to everyone, guys, if you are looking into any altcoins, any, right, make sure they are blue chip, top tier coins. Blue chip, institutional backed top tier coins. That's the strategy I'm using now. If the money's there, and I've mentioned this many times before as well, follow the money. If a project is worth $10 billion, you're better off putting your money there than a project that's worth, I don't know, $100 billion, or sorry, $1 million or $2 million. Of course, you turn around and say, but hold on, I can make 100x there. Yes, and you could also make zero there. You see what I mean? So yes, of course, as I said, I trade meme coins. I still love my meme coins, right? But that's a pure gamble strategy, right? If it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't really care. But I'm not going to go and bet the farm on it. You see what I mean, right? If I do, it's only going to be $100, maybe $200, maybe a couple hundred. Okay, on the tops, if I do think this project is quite cool, maybe even $1,000. That's the maximum I will ever do. I'm not going to go anything more than that. Does that make sense, right? Because I'd rather put my grand into something that I know is going to give me a better return, or at least is safe. At least it's not going to vanish into oblivion. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I prefer to put larger quantities into actual blue chips that I know have billions of dollars invested in them, have massive institutional backing or whatever you want to call it, investors, right? I'd rather put it there because I know at least, okay, worst case scenario, okay, it doesn't move, but I'm not going to really lose anything. The company's going to still be there. Of course, it's a risk as well. So end of the day, nothing is risk-free, except BTC. So yeah, I would say BTC. So that's the strategy. That's all I want to say. I think today, the way it looks, even with the liquidation, right now sitting at $108,500, guys, we're going to close. And, you know, I've mentioned this on Discord a few times. So I could smell 133K. Believe me, I could smell it. I could smell it. I could taste it. It's in the air, that 133. And there's a reason why I'm excited about 133. So, Faisal, as I mentioned just a bit ago, so I have 3 trades and currently open, right? One of those trades is actually going to stop me out at 133. Right? It's literally going to stop me out automatically. As soon as we hit that number, it doesn't matter if it goes to 500K, at that number, it will stop me out. Okay? That's one, right? So that means I'm safe. I'm in the safe side. Okay, that's one. Another one triggers something at the 133. Right? So I've already set up my trade. It's already doing its thing. It pushes up. But once it reaches around 133, I've put something like a trading stop, basically, so I'll be transparent about it, right? And there's no surprises here. I've put a trading stop to start, so I'm going to activate it around the 133, and I want to trade it as much as it goes. That one would basically make all the difference. Let's put it this way. I mentioned this on Discord as well recently as well. I said, look, guys, you know, a few years ago, recently, not long ago, I've suffered a lot financially, and I'm quite happy that certain strategies that I've been using, certain things that I've been doing have been, you know, a godsend, because I've kind of managed to almost recover everything that I've lost, and you know, I have the potential to actually make a lot more. But at this time, even if I lose everything, I still have assets that I can actually fall back to. So I'm quite happy. The strategy's worked out well. I'm happy to share it, and I think Faisal, he's interested from what we had a conversation. Yes, I will get to you. I've just been busy. And at this present moment, the only opportunity that I have, Faisal, I'm talking to you, being transparent on a live stream, right? Current moment, the only opportunity I have is it's a complete write out. So we're buying a property. There's a group of us basically through the company. So we're buying a property, but unfortunately the company, the property we're buying requires a significant amount of investment if anyone wants. So unfortunately the amount of money you'll want to invest isn't really enough. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not just going to come up to you. Like, I had my own personal younger brother. He's probably watching this right now. If not, he's going to watch it later. He turned around, he's like, oh, you know, I've got XYZ, I want to put that in. I said, not on this property, because this one's going to be a quick one, nice little ROI, 10% easy return. So at that time I was like, look, but it requires a large amount in order to do this, hence why I'm not going to promote it to anybody, and we're just going to try and do it ourselves and get a nice little quick return, basically, right? And hopefully at the end of it, come up with a strategy whether we keep it or get rid of it, whatever the case is, right? But ultimately it's just a money maker, quick money maker. So that's what we're doing. So hence why I haven't really been looking at other stuff. And of course, the last couple of weeks I haven't actually been doing any building work or anything like this. But I am starting on a new project on Friday, so I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll probably even throw a video there. You guys have probably noticed the kind of rebranding that I did, the labels and everything. That's because that's my new business card and everything as well. So yeah, now people asking me for a business card, so I just give them a business card. You know what I mean, right? So hence why I have second number as well, by the way. But other than that, guys, look, it's been a nice long one. I don't want to be here for too long. I was intending to be here for 10-15 minutes anyway. And thank you to all the trolls and everything that have come here, especially Ryan. All right, I don't know why you even bother, but anyway, it's okay. Nice energy, positive energy. And that's what you're getting from me, even though I never got any from you. But thank you very much for visiting. Thank you to Faisal for coming here as well, and all the other guys. So it is what it is. I don't know what Prasad was saying, your work as a, I don't know what he was trying to say, but listen, we're here, we're talking. This is not only a crypto specific channel. If you go and you see the last video I posted was cooking a curry, it is what it is, end of the day. I'm not biased, and I don't think anybody else that comes here should be biased. We're universal, we're all humans here, end of the day, you know. And to me, everybody's a brother and sister, and everyone's welcome, right? Everyone's welcome. We don't need bad comments, all the good vibes, all the good stuff. BTC is doing fantastic, the market's doing fantastic. We're currently at, I believe, 330 something, almost close to $3.4 trillion. Again, that's not near the all-time high, because the all-time high I think was 3.37 or 3.38 trillion dollars, close to 4. Our target is $4 trillion. In fact, this season, if we can move with the altcoins, because the altcoins didn't do anything, it was just BTC doing its thing, right? But if we can push forward, we should hit a target of at least $5 trillion total market cap. That's going to be a good milestone for us, and watch how the money flows in as well. So that's happening, but let's see. You know, other than that, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, then I'm not going to be here any longer, because as I said, I wasn't here intending to be that long. In fact, Faisal thought the first 2 streams, the attempts we did to the stream, was actually pre-recorded. It wasn't, it was live. It's always been live. I was trying to do a live. So yeah, I hope this one, the video, the audio, everything was good. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions or anything. Of course, if it's relevant, if it's something I can answer, I would answer. If I don't know, I don't know. You know what I mean? I've always been transparent about that. I'm not going to sit here and make something up, fake it till you make it. Nah, it don't work with me. You know what I mean? I've always been very straight up about it. You know, I don't do that kind of stuff. What you see is what you get, right? Oh, I love my Punisher hat. I need another one of these, man. I need to get myself another one of these. This cap, I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. $108,615. Long time frame, we are looking like we want to go up. That's going to go up. That's what I'm saying. It's going to go up. 133k, I can taste you. It's coming. But other than that, guys, I don't think anybody else wants to talk about anything, which is absolutely fine. Because I don't even know if the messages show up, by the way. So this is the weird as well. I see some. I see Faisal's thumbs up. That's it. So other than that, I don't see any other messages. I'm not going to make this any longer. Appreciate all of you guys. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Let's grow the channel. But I have new plans. There's a few things I want to do, and I'm kind of venturing into that, and I might kind of change the direction of the channel into something new. And if that's the case, if it's something that I do thoroughly enjoy and something that I can just showcase to you guys, I will definitely, and I feel I can. So hence why I want to change this channel towards a new direction. Of course, we do crypto as well, like we're doing now, occasional crypto updates, but significant updates, because we don't need to come and repeat ourselves like a freaking parrot every single day and repeat what every other person says. You know, and that's what you come here for, because you're getting the unique stuff here. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna catch you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.